What's up, everybody? This is Alex from Heavy New York, invading Columbus, Ohio for Sonic Temple Fest, and today we are here with the Jacks, or one of the Jacks, I'd rather say.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, it's so great to have you here. You're currently working on your self-titled EP. Do you just want to give a run on how the making of it was and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. We started recording maybe a couple months ago with producer Matt Wallace.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, he's in like Maroon 5, Faith No More. Really cool guy. And so we recorded 3 singles with him a few months back, and then the first single of which came out today. And then we recorded 2 more with him about a month ago. And so it's going to be a 5-song EP. There's songs that we've kind of had. Some are new, and some we've had for like a year or so. So it just, we got them mixed by Andrew Sheps as well, who's done a lot of great work. And so we're really excited about the product that's coming out.
Awesome. Working with a producer, and I like asking bands this, I've always said that the producer's like the 5th Beatle, the 6th Beatle if you're in Slipknot, the 11th Beatle or something like that. When you're working with a producer, do you want him to bring his own mix to your music, or does he kind of have to adjust his production style in order to fit your style of music?
You know, we haven't experienced that many producers, but working with Matt, I think with him, and I think what a lot of good producers do is they cater the needs to the artists themselves. And so I think sometimes artists maybe need a lot of outside help, and sometimes they need kind of a hands-off approach. And a lot of it is really kind of, playing the personality game between different people and making sure that all works out. And but for us, it was kind of, I think Matt really just brought out the best of the songs, and he gave us really good advice, but it wasn't too hands-on. He wasn't trying to change anything drastic. It was more adding subtle changes that really made a big difference once they were added up. And so, we really liked Matt's approach, and I think, for every band it's probably different, but I think what he did was great.
That's awesome. Now, from listening to you guys definitely have a classic rock vibe, which I think is unique with bands like you guys or Greta Van Fleet, kind of bringing back the old school rock sound. For a younger rock audience, a lot of times their first rock band is a band like 3 Days Grace or Fozzy or Hinder or any of those bands. So were you just taking inspiration from the classic Led Zeppelin bands, or were you looking at a lot of modern music as well when making your music?
I think for us, all 4 of us really were drawn to the 60s and 70s for music, Beatles, Rolling Stones, Zeppelin, The Who, a lot of bands that we really resonated with. And for us, a lot of the modern stuff that we resonate with, it's kind of the Black Keys, Oasis, Cage the Elephant, bands like that. And so, I think for us, we just were really excited about making music that we liked. And then it kind of ended up being in what you heard, and so I don't think we kind of set out to do anything other than honestly what was just the result of all 4 of us playing together, and writing together.
From listening to it, it's not like, you're I hate the term, but ripping off of another band. It's not. I could tell that there's a real organic message that you guys are just playing the style of music you play because you like that style of music.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's we luckily all have a lot of influences that, align together. And so, we like the kind of raw, energetic rock and roll feel, and we love being able to share that with people.
Yeah. Now, being a very raw band, do you kind of make a song with a preconceived idea in mind, or do you kind of improvise and let things happen as raw and organically?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think a lot of times we'll have a song written beforehand, and then we'll work it out as a band. And in our earlier days, a lot of times we'd play songs that were not even really finished in front of audiences live, and we'd kind of see which parts were working, which weren't working, and it's okay, the crowd's not responding to this, maybe we change the bridge, maybe we switch it up, and so there was kind of definitely a live organic feel to some of those songs that we kind of had to tweak with a live audience. But
interesting. Now, playing live versus in the studio, is that a completely separate game?
Yeah, it's pretty different because live is such, it's such a varied thing. You could play for, early on we'd play for basically nobody, or you could play today we played this festival and there's so many people and it's a lot of fun. And so you really have to be able to adapt really well and make sure that the songs themselves have that kind of, inner integrity to be able to bounce between different audiences and stuff. Whereas in the studio, you're kind of in a vacuum, and you're just recording and making it sound as good as you can. And So it's just a completely different world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there was one little fun question I wanted to ask you, because I actually interviewed Buck Cherry back at NAMM. Those guys are characters, but like they said in like the style of rock, sometimes playing a fast song is actually easier than a really slow song, because apparently it's more noticeable if you mess up a slow song versus a fast song. Do you concur? Do you?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I think like fast and loud stuff you can kind of get away with. The cymbals are crashing, the guitars are really loud, but yeah, like slow stuff. It's funny, like when we do acoustic shows, and that's like pretty slow, and we're acoustic, we'll do small gigs like that. I feel like that's when I'm the most aware of how exposed I am personally as like a singer and us as a band. And so I would agree with that. I think the slow songs are you're more exposed. So if you make a mistake, it's like
you're naked up there.
Yeah, you're basically naked. So, but yeah, that's funny they said that.
Yeah. And the final question I'd like to ask you is, it's a kick-ass time here at Sonic Temple. Is there just, you have the new EP coming out. Could we be expecting a date anytime soon? Is there just any other tours and shows you would like to promote as well?
Yeah, I mean, our single came out today.
Okay.
Walk Away.
Okay.
It came out on like all streaming platforms like Apple Music, and it's that's like the culmination of all that work. And so that came out this morning, and then the EP is going to drop into mid-June.
Okay.
Mid to late June. And so that's the 5 songs total. And then we have our big kind of like show in LA, and we'll probably make it like an EP release. Is going to be the Troubadour on July 26th.
Okay.
So that's our kind of our hometown show, and we're currently booking a tour now. So once we get everything confirmed, then.
Was this LA show announced already? Or?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
It was, yeah.
Because I've had a couple of bands say like, "Oh yeah, well in 2023 we're going out on the road with this." I'm like, dude, I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
I can't even share this till then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Yep. Everybody, we are here with the Jacks' new EP coming this June. Catch them if you're in LA and watching this. Catch them at their release show, and we'll see you next time on Heavy New York.
All right.